So to kick off the next half, we have Kang, a Ph.D. student in mechanical engineering. Their presentation is titled, How Changing Gender Norms Shape the Evolution of Technology. Please join me in welcoming Sam to the stage.
This is a sewing machine. First patented in 1846. It's been around for nearly 200 years. And if you've never used a sewing machine before, you probably know someone who has, and that person is likely a woman. Despite millions of women who use a sewing machine globally, numerous studies have linked chronic neck and back pain to sewing machine design and prolonged usage. So, why hasn't sewing machine design advanced to address ergonomic issues and reduce harm on its majority user? And this led me to my research question. How does technology evolve over time? And from a design context, what makes radical design innovation possible when technology is no longer a constraint? Many of us may not realize that technologies like the sewing machine have been historically shaped by social norms like gender. As a design researcher at Oregon State, I study how social norms impact theories of innovation, design decision-making, and subsequently, product trajectories and design outcomes. So, bless you. To address this question, I first looked at one of the most well-known models of technical change, the technology lifecycle model. And it goes something like this. It starts with a technological discontinuity that's sparked by new science, radical performance improvements. For example, for millennia, humans have sat on the ground until the invention of the chair. Next, we're ushered into the era of ferment. In this era, we see technical uncertainty, ambiguous user preferences. Should the chair have 3 legs or 4 legs? And then next, we settle on the dominant design, which sets the status quo for the industry, characterized by common architecture, well-established preferences, and now we generally have chairs that have 4 legs. This is then followed by the era of incremental change, where we see small changes like form factor and aesthetic variations to chairs on the market. And then this cycle repeats with another technological breakthrough. And while this model is generally accurate for a wide variety of products, it fails to predict the technology trajectory of highly gendered or gender-biased products like the sewing machine and more. So, this is when I realized that conventional theories of innovation have yet to consider how social norms like gender shape product trajectories and product innovation. And so I embarked on this quest to develop new theory so that we, as designers, technologists, and engineers, can explicitly account for social norms like gender in design innovation. To develop theory for this, I conducted a technical historical case study analysis of the sewing machine. And I looked at dozens of patents between 1800 and 1900. I narrowed it down to just 10, or else I'd be here forever, and applied a feminist critique to the sewing machine's technology life cycle. Applying a feminist critique explicitly centers gender and social context in technology development and inform the social norms model of technology trajectories that I created. So, given that, let's look at the sewing machine's technology life cycle. In its era of ferment, we see dozens, if not hundreds, of feasible designs, all of which were created by men, by the way. And it eventually led to a dominant design of the sewing machine, which was marketed primarily to women. These marketing ads are from the 1800s and are just a couple of the ones that I saw. And it's pretty hard to miss the messaging. One, that it was aggressively marketed to a certain demographic, but 2, these ads show that women who sewed were apparently blessed both by the heavens and by husbands alike for their labor. From the marketing to the entrance of the sewing machine into the home, gender played a significant role in the sewing machine's development. It's undeniable. However, the traditional technology life cycle would have never captured this. And so I developed theory to do just that. I present to you my theory of social norms model for technology trajectories. My theory, as you can see, builds upon the original technology life cycle and explicitly accounts for social norms at each stage. For example, instead of new science, social revolutions or disruption of social norms can be a source for technological discontinuities. For instance, instead of assuming well-established preferences, the dominant design shows how powerful social norms can solidify a technology's form and function. This model helps us understand how the gender imbalance, for example, between the designer and the user of the sewing machine may explain how aesthetic changes were prioritized over ergonomic and safety issues and considerations of women. While my research focuses on the sewing machine is just one of many products that illustrates how social norms like gender shape its technology trajectory. If we don't consider gender in design, then we as engineers and designers will continue to unintentionally exclude user needs and uphold social norms that harm marginalized groups. And while my model of technology trajectories offers a path to design outcomes that can better serve women, trans, and non-binary people who create and account for more than 50% of our population and who should have always been included and represented in theories of innovation and design. Thank you.